Bag prices are skyrocketing, we're entering recession. Should you start your Hermes journey? Well, if you've been thinking about starting your Hermes journey, so have I. And I finally decided to take the plunge and start. In fact, I started last week and I wanted to share my initial purchases and what my thoughts and approach were to the journey. Also, hi, I'm Somidoshoppers. I upload videos once a week on luxury and fashion. Now let's jump right into why I'm starting my Hermes journey. I'm also thinking about making this into a little mini series, so kind of updating you guys month by month to see how everything's going, if I'm getting any bags. So make sure to subscribe so you do not miss out. I wanted to give a little bit of background before we get started. So I'm 26 years old, I live in the Bay Area, and I work a very normal 9-to-5 job. I do make a 6-figure income though, and I come from a very humble family. I've worked since high school to provide myself with everything I have, aka that just means that everything that I purchase is with my hard-earned money. So I just wanted to mention that because I think starting your Hermes journey can be quite daunting. Clearly a lot of money needs to be invested into the brand if you have any dreams of attaining a quota bag, and a lot of luxury YouTubers I've seen seem to have quite a bit of money already, or they're a bit older, so it's hard for me to gauge how my journey might compare to theirs. Additionally, I mentioned where I live because the Bay Area is notorious for having really competitive Hermes stores, so I think I'd be considered a very small fish in comparison to a lot of wealthier Asian clients that frequent the stores. But all that said, I have always had an interest in Hermes. I rode horses from a young age, and I even competed on my college equestrian team, so I love all the heritage that Hermes comes from. And it's definitely what I would consider a little bit of a more mature brand, so I haven't really stepped foot into an Hermes store until now, but I think I'm at a good point in my life to have just a little bit of fun and see what luck my H fairy might bring me. So why did I decide to start? It's a well-known fact that bag prices have been going up while the general US economy has been going down. This unfortunately weeds out a good amount of the middle class population from buying luxury goods, but doesn't really affect the VIP clients and the likes of such. However, there's definitely some positive things to think about. So there's definitely going to be a group of luxe shoppers who will take a hiatus from buying during this time, whether it be because they just don't think prices are worth it anymore, they want to save money, or they just want to invest in something else. This allows for a competition of goods to decrease at least a little. And additionally, COVID has significantly improved globally, which means that supply chains have been reestablished and stock is going back up. And then lastly, this is a little bit of a personal one, but I'm really in no rush to get a quota bag. I love shopping, popping into the store on a weekend, and just having a great chat with my essays. And although people try to game the system and become maybe just a little bit overly emotional during the system, I think I would genuinely enjoy just cultivating a relationship with my essay and learning about the brand bit by bit. So I really like some of the items right now, and I decided that if I'm gonna buy this anyways, I might as well just buckle up and start my journey. So before we get into a little bit of a story time, I wanted to just do the quick unboxing for you guys. So this one's actually, I just used it for kind of a thumbnail, but this is the Kelly belt that I had unboxed in my previous video. And then let's just go into these ones. So these two are extremely classic Hermes pieces. I decided to just start with something that I was familiar with and knew about before I got into the weeds of just buying some random stuff at Hermes. So these ones, sure you can tell, but are just a pair of Oran sandals in gold. And these are just so beautiful. Let me just pull them out. So I got these in a size 38. So normally I'm a size 37.5, but definitely for the Orans, you have to size half a size up. If you're trying other styles, for example, like the Oasis, I'm still a true 37.5, but I think maybe either because these are kind of narrow or something, I've always had to size up in the Orans. So got these in a 38, and then I wanted to get the gold color because number one, it's just such a classic color, and then number two, I did want to have these to match the Kelly belt that I had unboxed previously. And so this with the belt is just such a beautiful combination. And for a long time, I was really on the fence about getting Orans because I had heard they can be uncomfortable and they make a lot of noise when you walk and make like a big clicking sound. But I just really loved the casual look of these, and so I'm not really sure how the wear will go, but I definitely will try to make an update video on how the wear and tear of these are, maybe in a month or so. But I really do like the look, so I'm really hoping they work out. And then the next thing is in this tiny little box. And it is the I believe it's called the Chain d'Ancre. I'm totally not sure. I might have totally butchered that name. Ring, and this is in sterling silver. And this I had seen on the website quite a few times, but I've never actually seen it in person in store before until I went in last weekend. And I thought that it might have been like too big because I definitely prefer rings that are a little bit on the thinner side. But this absolutely stole my heart when I put it on. And I'll include some close-ups, but it is absolutely stunning. The silver is so shiny, and I don't think you could even really tell it's sterling silver. It really looks like white gold in my opinion, but it is so beautiful. I got this in a size 48, but of course that's dependent on everybody's size. And I actually believe that Hermes is a really, really great place to expand your white gold or silver jewelry, more leaning on the silver jewelry. Their silver jewelry is actually quite affordable in my opinion. I'm gonna mention the prices in just a bit, but I've mentioned several times on my channel already that I'm trying to expand kind of like the white colored jewelry in my collection, and so this ring was a lovely and beautiful addition to my collection, and I'm really excited because I do want to get maybe like a matching bracelet that they have, all in due time. But yes, this ring is absolutely gorgeous and stunning, and I think it would look beautiful on absolutely anybody, and the price point is great. And just another thing to note, buying fine jewelry at Hermes is really, really good for your pre-spend. So if you're looking into buying silver pieces, definitely look into Hermes. So just really want to quickly mention the prices. So these Iran sandals were $700 pre-tax. And then the Chain d'Ancre Enchantee Ring PM, so the smaller size I guess, was $480 pre-tax. So yeah, I think just very expectable prices for Hermes, nothing too crazy, nothing too cheap or anything. There's a lot of things at Hermes that can be really, really expensive, but there's actually a lot of things at Hermes that can be quite cheap. So I think maintaining a balance of what you're buying there and kind of maintaining the pace of how you're spending is going to be really important for obtaining a quota bag. Both of these pieces can be bought on the website. The links will be down in the description. So bit of a story time. I visited my boutique last weekend, and it was actually the second time I'd been there. The first time was just a very okay experience. I had bought a belt for my boyfriend, but I didn't really vibe with the SA, so I never really contacted her again. This time I walked in and I was almost immediately greeted by a very friendly but very professional SA, and I mentioned I was interested in some shoes, so we went over to the shoe section and he helped me pick a pair of Iran sandals, as you just saw. And then after that, I kind of wandered over to the baby goods section and the home goods section because I was looking for a present. And then lastly, I kind of ended at the fine jewelry section where I did end up buying my ring. So the entire time I never felt rushed. My SA was definitely kept keeping his distance, but he did give his input when I asked for it or when I was kind of mulling over baby blankets and shoe styles. I personally can be quite chatty with my SAs, and he definitely didn't seem like the person who was kind of like that, but I really appreciated the easiness I felt while shopping with him that day, so that's ultimately why I decided to go through with my purchases. I feel like if I had gotten an SA who I didn't really like, I would have just left and come back another day because who your SA is so important in your Hermes journey. So shortly after I checked out, he actually texted me and mentioned me by name and also my boyfriend's name, thanking me for coming and to let him know if I was needing anything else in the future. And I thought it was really nice that he remembered those small details like my boyfriend's name and that he reached out afterwards. So far I've had a really great impression with my first SA, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. So I mentioned briefly at the beginning of this video, but I wanted to reiterate just my approach to the journey. Like I said, I'm in no rush to get certain bags, and I think that's the best way to approach Hermes to keep just a peace of mind. I've seen people buy like the same pair of Iran sandals 10 times and resell them on Facebook groups so they can increase their pre-spend and recoup some of their losses, and that just seems crazy to me. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars every time I visit, and I've heard that trying to impress your SA by like massive spending can even be bad for you because they kind of view you as like a cash cow, and then they're just going to keep you spending while holding the promise of a quota bag on a stick. So I'm lucky enough to live just 10 minutes away from my local boutique, so I'm just planning on coming in maybe once or twice a month to just catch up with my SA and buy little by little and only what I love, and eventually that little by little will rack up into a big sum, and I'm hoping that in a year or two I may be offered a quota bag. So if you're ever finding this journey stressful, then I would recommend just buying your dream bag through a reseller route. Only if you're going to enjoy the process of shopping and the long game do I think that you should really consider starting your Hermes journey. But if any of you feel like you can relate to just being a very average guy or gal with an interest in Hermes, I hope that you will join me on this journey. I want to make a short update maybe every month or so, how things have been going, what I've bought, and I hope that you'll share how your journeys have been going too. I think it's always more fun when you're just doing it together. Since this is going to be a bit of a series, I wanted to mention my dream bags as of right now. I'm still new to Hermes, so I'm not too knowledgeable about what's out there, but I think it would be fun to look back on this video in a year and see if any of these dream bags have come true for me. So I'm just gonna be quick and list them out here. So number one, I think I want a Birkin 25 in a neutral color. I prefer Epsom or Togo leather in Cellier, and I love the beige brown neutrals like gold, chai, or biscuit. Next up is a Kelly 25 in noir. Definitely less picky about the leather as long as it's not exotic, and then I would prefer cellular stitching as well. And then lastly, I would like a Pinkerton 18 in a neutral, preferably like a white like cray, nata, or baton, but I would also be okay with a pop of color in pastel like blue broom. And that's it for now. First on my list is an adorable Pinkerton, and I definitely think it's going to be quite a bit of time before any of those bags show up, if ever. I hope you've enjoyed this little sit down of me explaining my approach and my start to my Hermes journey. I would love to hear how your journeys have been going too, and if you have any advice for me down in the comments. And lastly, I really want to thank everyone who has subscribed to me in the last month. I've had so much fun making this content, and it really, really warms my heart that over 80 people have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for supporting my small channel, and I hope that we will continue to grow into a wonderful, lovely community. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll definitely see you in the next one. Bye!